Welcome everybody. My name is Spiropoulos. I'm from the University of São Paulo, Brazil. I'm going to be the chair for the session. We have our first speaker who is ready. Spiropoulos, which is going to speak about real-time composition of sound environment.
So, hello everybody, thank you for coming. I will present today some new aspects in my work as a composer, and that concerns the sound environments and real-time composition. Through two of my works, Geografia Sonora and Vocalscapes on Walt Whitman. Geografia is a sound and video installation in the theme of the Mediterranean Sea, and Vocalscapes is conceived as a poetry, as sound space, and as a geography of languages, voicing performances in humans. Geografia Sonora has been commissioned by Marseille Provence 2013, European Capital of Culture, and has been worked at the En Circuit Studios in Paris. The theme is the sea, and for me it's an imaginary sound constellation of singing and speaking voices, signals, natural sounds and mechanical sounds, all of them from the countries bordering the Mediterranean Sea. The sound in the video is generated, composed and transformed in real time ad infinitum. I will just remind here some of the basic concepts of Raymond Marais Schaffer about the soundscape, who categorizes it, the main themes as a keynote sound, signals and sound marks. The keynote sound is, of course, the tonality of a composition, but also the sounds of a landscape created by its geography and climate. The signals are acoustic warning devices and message transmitter, and the sound marks, it's a community sound which is unique, and sometimes I call it for my work anthropological sound. And he also defines the community not only as a political, geographical, religious and social entity, but also as an acoustic entity. The installation is organized, the sound material is organized as an archipelago of sound islands, grouped in 8 families. This sound material is a collection of personal field recordings, of donations by my informants, and by samples found in archives. 15 informants or 16 informants gave me songs, sounds of cicadas, the navigation between the islands is organized by a sound navigation map automatically running under Max MSP and Despatialisateur. This musical journey takes place in a room where the visitor may move freely inside, walk around, sit down, lay down, or go out and enter again. And the video is a continuous changing texture of a sparkling sea, which is projected in the three walls of the room, and it is also generated by zither in real time. The sea changes in color, density, and luminosity, and becomes, from time to time, a constellation of lights. This is the room, the two walls. In the soundscape, the sound is distributed by 8 loudspeakers, one per wall. Each wall presents one of the 4 cardinal points in the map and corresponds to a part of the Mediterranean. So each country and each sound mark has a fixed location and starting point in space. The North Wall is the map of the northern countries, etc. The sound material is related to the sea, is concrete and mainly raw, and it is grouped in sound islands and sound clusters. A sound island is a type of sound, for example, singing, speaking, Morse, fish, and an island cluster is a sound family, for example, human, signals, mechanical, etc. This is the 8 families, the 3 families and the sound type for each family. The first 3 are related to countries, so they have a starting point fixed in space. The human family is related to oral tradition, songs, onomatopoeias, etc. The ambient family reflects the human activity in the sea, like fishing, navigating, etc. The Morse signals, the Morse code in the signals family is generated by the computer. I did it with a very cheap software, and I chose a text of Homer's Odyssey. He says in Greek, "Pleon epi inopapondon epaluthros anthropus," which means I navigate the wine-colored sea among people who talk, who speak different languages. Literally, people who make different noises. Very few sounds are filtered in order to have some sustained drones for the installation. The sound navigation map defines paths and connections between the sound islands and between the island families, and generates an archipelago of sounds. This is the first sketch of the sound navigation map, the manuscript, where we can see the families here and the islands. A human, ambient, related to voice, mechanical, signals, natural. The navigation between the islands changes at the infinitum in real time. There is no beginning or end, no duration. The sounds may be repeated by the listener will never listen to the same combination of sounds. And this sound navigation map became a virtual score under Max MSP and the Spatialisateur, which is a complex multi-level matrix constructed with 3 external tables. One table for the juxtaposition of the sounds, a second one for the superimposition, and the third one for the duration, the polyphony, and the spatial movement. Oh, I almost finished. Oh. Anyway, this is the tables. These are the tables. And, this one, the third one, determines the spatial movement, if it's static or dynamic, the polyphony, here, the sample duration and offset, and total duration of scene. Each one of these inhabit scenes, there are 8 scenes. I think I have to finish, and maybe we will hear. Oh, okay. We will try to. I will try to. Are you listening? Yeah. It's only one channel. Very difficult to make a video of the installation. This is the Algerian song. Sicily, Lebanon, Egypt, and Palestine. The South France. Nothing? Try imagination. It's a good thing. So there is no really time to talk about the vocal landscapes and Walt Whitman. I wanted just to say that the piece will be performed. It's an electroacoustic piece, but also a sound installation. It's a work in progress. It comes from the Body Electric cycle, which is a cycle, an homage to Walt Whitman, the American major figure of American poetry of the 19th century. Did I say that the piece we will perform this Friday at the Onassis Cultural Center? And the piece have been seen as a geography of languages, voices, and performances. There is a very few treatment of the sound, and I have asked 15 talkers to record fragments of some poems of Walt Whitman in different languages. I have 7 languages for the moment. It's Greek, English, French, Austrian, Hebrew, Italian, I think. Of course, I have Italian. Just one thing, I have generated all the musical sequences of the piece in real time in studio. Then I exported as a fixed electroacoustic 6-channel sequences. The virtual score, the piece uses the same computer environment like Geografia Sonora, but this time I wanted to have a very precise control of what happens with the sound and with the form and with time and all this. So I generated all these sequences with Antescofo programming language, which is being used for real-time synchronization of live performance and of computer elements. I have to start here. I don't know if I will finish with a recording of one of the talkers, the composer Dieter Kaufmann, the Viennese composer, who should read a poem of Whitman, where Whitman expresses a strong conscience of citizenship and involvement in the city, the New York City. So Dieter Kaufmann chooses to go and record it in the middle of a rowdy Vienna on the Pilgrim Bridge. And he says, I call in the midst of the crowd, and etc. So we will listen to that.
Eine unbestimmte Menge, eine eigene Stimme, voll Töne dahin brausend bis Finale. Das ist die Stadt, ich bin einer der Bürger.
Thank you very much.
We have time for one very quick question because we are already using the question.
Yes. Yes.
Navigating the space and how the sound application of space change. Is that an interactive?
No. It's pre-programmed. In fact, it's pre-programmed randomly. The navigation is between 8 seats, configuration with duration within a range, and free navigation from sound to sound according to my tables. For example, singing whenever the more singing. It's not as fast. Thank you.
Yes, please feel free to look after each other and at the coffee.